Alright, how are we doing today? So I'm going to do a full in-depth video on installing these new Braum racing seats. Alright, now these are universal sliders. I mean, you get them with a lot of different vehicles. Okay, now bear with me, we're in our guest room here trying to keep the dog and cat out. Alright, so if there's an issue, I apologize. I'm going to try and show you really the simplicities of it. Okay, so like I said, very universal. You've got your locking area here. Okay, and I'm going to show you what side to install to the seat and to the mount, because sometimes people just, yeah, pull the old seat out, put it, the new seat in the car, but what side goes where? Okay, so we're going to try and show you that. I'll give you some close-ups, some reference points, things like that. If you have any questions, comment below the link, and I will try to get to them to answer them for you, okay? So, again, the seats are Braum Racing, new company, alright? Pretty good product so far. So, I did the driver's seat already. This is the passenger seat. When you're starting with this, okay, you want to have a good area. I didn't want to use the garage floor and get them all gunked up or anything like that. So first, right, you have your seat, okay? Now your seat will typically come, we'll make sure this doesn't fall over on us here. So the seat, in this case, came with the sliding rails. You get two of these, okay? They're identical. There's no certain side or anything like that, left side, right side, certain seat. These are universal. Okay. If you have the sliders, you get a sliding rail, right? This is what you pull up to move it forwards or backwards. We're going to talk about that. And of course it has to be mounted to the vehicle. So these are done by Planted. They make seats for a lot of, brackets for a lot of different seat manufacturers. So the way this works is they do it specifically for your vehicle, right? So they're made to order. They have the same hookups as the stock Planted bottoms, okay? So we're going to talk about how to mount these to the seat and then into the vehicle, alright? So, like I said, first we're going to start with the seat itself, okay? Make sure you have a good area, clean. So what I like to do is flip the seat over, right? So we're going to put it up like that. So we're going to put the front of the seat down, the back of the seat up. Okay, again, front of the seat is down, back is up. You're looking at the back of the chair. Okay. The only reason I do that is it sits a little bit better. Okay, that way we can get to everything. Alright, now I'm going to give you some close-up here. What Braum does is they actually come with the threads or the bolts already threaded in. A lot of seat manufacturers, you have to actually find and cut holes to show the threads. We're going to take this out. This is the actual hardware that you'll use to mount the sliders to the seat. Okay. Alright, so let's see if we can find this for you. You got your bolt threads, and then right there, bam, pre-drilled hole, already threads inside of there. Alright. Okay, so pre-drilled holes, right? Easy to find, easy to locate. So what we're going to do is first I'm going to pull out all these bolts so that we can put the sliders right there to it and then mount the sliders. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that for us. Alright, and then I had mentioned that what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have everything that we need before we start, right? You have your good area, workspace, and then for these, you know, find out what size tools you'll need. Okay, Braum Racing has it on their website, instructions, right? So when you get the seats, when you get the rails, that kind of thing, it doesn't come with paper directions or instructions. Okay, so you can go on their website. If you have Recaro, if you have anything else, I'm sure you can find it either on their website. They may send paper, I'm not sure. Okay, so the bolts that I just pulled out, they're 12mm bolts. Okay, so you want to have a 12mm socket. Alright, wrench, whatever. The socket, I'll show you why that's nice to have to get in there. Okay, and then Allen head wrench, we're going to get into that. But do yourself a favor, order the hardware for the seats. Okay, now this would be through Planted. It's actually hardware for the seat mount. Okay, the base of the seat. Alright, and they came with hardened Allen wrench, right, 16mm Allen head. Okay, so I've got that. Also comes with the washers for it. Okay, and then the bolt that goes onto the Allen head is going to be a 13mm, so you're going to want a wrench for that also. Alright, so 12mm, 13mm, and a 6mm Allen head. Those are really all the tools that you need, right? Very simple. Alright, now, we talked about these earlier, okay? And so, there's a few videos out there, and some people, you know, they put different side to the seat, different side to the seat mount. Whether it's incorrect or not, I found that all the holes match up. It's operational and also safe. I put this is the thick side, okay? So you have, this is the flush side, I'm going to try and show you, okay? And that's going to go to the back of the seat. This is the non-flush side. The reason that I call it a non-flush side is because there is an actual, you see that there? There's the actual smaller rail in there. Okay, that's what I put to the actual seat mount. The flush side, see that there? That's going to go on the actual seat itself. Okay, so a couple ways to do this. Obviously, you want to be able to pull the lever up to move the seat back and forth, right? You don't want to push it down. The thing being is safety, and the other is that once you get the actual seat bracket mount on here, you're not going to have room to push it down, so it needs to come up. Okay, so when you're looking at this, right, pretty universal. Okay, I'm going to try and show you. You want this to face forward. Okay, this long piece. You don't want it this side going to the back. You want it going to the front. Okay, so your two pins where the actual lever will fit into, you want them in the back, and you want the slide area. I call this the slide area, whatever it is. It's a 90 bend in it. Okay, we want that in the front. Alright, so to adjust the slider, all you're going to do is push down right here. Okay, push that down, and then that's going to give you some leverage to move the slider rail. Okay, so not always easy at first. Okay, they're tight. Okay, so once you push down on that, you slide the rail some. Okay, you're going to expose the elongated holes. Okay, and I'll show you why I call it. Obviously, they're elongated holes. The other are not. Okay, so depending on, you know, figure out what holes you're going to use. There's a series of holes on here. Okay, depending on what seat you have is going to depend on what holes to use. Okay, so I believe that I'm going to use the second one down here, or maybe the top. I'll have to look and verify, alright? Okay, so the way that mine match up, I'm going to use the very top hole, okay, which is a little bit elongated, so we're not going to tighten down that bolt all the way. Alright, so again, flat side to the seat, okay, as you can see, that guy right there, he's going to go this way, right? Flat side, flush side to the seat. 90 degree to the front, which is the front of the seat is down, remember? Okay. So we're just going to pop this guy in here real quick. Always start your threads with your fingers. Reason being, you don't want to strip these out. Again, especially for safety, it's it's easy to cross thread if you're using any type of tool. Now, if you're using a wrench, go ahead, remove the socket. You can use that if it's too tough to get in there with your fingers. Okay, but you don't want to gum these threads up. You really don't want to strip them. Like I said, for one, they're new, and for two, safety, right? Okay, so we didn't tighten that down all the way. I still am able to move this, okay? It's not all the way tightened. That being because you want to be able to move it up and down. There's a little bit of lag in there from the elongated hole, okay? So go ahead, and I'm going to put the other one on also while I'm here. I'm going to do both backs of the seat, and then I'm going to do the front, okay? So again, get your rail where you need it. Alright, so I got my rail where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. And I'm going to use a socket this time, okay? Just to show you. Again, you're going to use the same hole that you did on the other side. Hand thread that in there to start. You can go ahead, you can get it tight enough by your hands that you don't even need to tighten it down yet with the wrench. Okay? Alright, I'll give you a close-up here. So, this is what we have. We have one bolt in, okay, on each one. Okay? And like I said, you leave it loose so that you can move it if need to. I can't do it by holding the camera also, but you get the idea. Okay, so again, back of the seat, okay, there's the back, right, front of the seat. And I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm doing this so that if you're watching it, you don't have to pause it, you don't have to rewind it, okay. So you want this 90 degrees going down. You want the furthest pin, isolated pin, to the back of the seat, okay. The reason being is that rail is going to sit right here on this side, so it's going to give it a little bit more leverage as you're moving, okay? So then what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, we're going to push these in, alright, just as we lowered them. We're going to push them in, we're going to shoot them the other way so we can get our bottom bolts in, alright?